Talk with DSA. I'm joining you live from Dubai, and on this episode, we are going to be looking at education. You see, there's no nation that has become great without heavy investment in quality education. United Arab Emirates had to do that. In fact, it is understanding the role that education plays in development of a nation that makes you put in the budget, put in the money. When you compare Nigeria with other countries, well, when we put less than 10% of our annual budget into education, and yet we expect a great nation. Our schools are in shambles, no quality teachers, and what's funny is that our biggest strength as a nation is our human resource. It's not the natural resources. Great nations are not made by natural resources, but investment in their human resources, and it begins with education. So I have amazing guests on this episode, my former Deputy Governor of Lagos State and another professional, and together we're going to be looking at the educational sector and the solution to making it better. After this break, we'll be right back with Big Talk with DSA. Love you. Fantastic episode of Big Talk with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. And today we're going to be looking at education, and we have amazing guests in the studio. Of course, please have your seat, everybody. And we're going to have a great time. So today we have the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Her Excellency Princess Mrs. Adebisi and Mary Njoku. She's also former Commissioner for Education. I think she merged those two roles. We'll also have Mrs. Mary Njoku, MD, of course, of Rock Studios. And we have Damien Ava, a.k.a. Sabi Doctor. Thank you for coming. We have so much to discuss as it concerns education in the nation, Nigeria. We're going to be back after this break. Welcome back to Big Talk with DSA, and I want to ask the first question to Her Excellency. Education in this country, are you satisfied with where we are?
That's a big one. And sincerely speaking, I am not, and I'm sure many are not as well. Especially when you consider so many children that are out of school. You want me to go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We know education is basic. It's the foundation to all professions, to economic growth, to everything. Even education is not restricted to the formal classrooms. Even within the homes, education is basic. And we call what we have as formal, informal education. We know the formal takes place within a class, within a structure, a place here marked While the informal can be any other place, it can be under a tree, it can be in the home where the parents are even correcting you. They are all education.
Yeah. When you were when you were deputy governor of Lagos State, as well as
That was 2007 to 2011.
and Commissioner of Education, what was the major challenge that you faced in terms of restructuring education?
Education. Well, I'm a professional teacher, and not just from the top. I started as a grade 2 teacher, did my NC, did my degree, and did my master's. And I also worked with the Lagos State Ministry of Education. So that gave me a lot of background information and experience on what the problems are.
Okay. I mean, there's so much to still talk about, but let me come to Mrs. Mary Njoku as well as Sabi Doctor. What do you see as the challenge? I mean, you probably have children as well. And what are the major pain points that you have as parents?
For me, as a parent and as an employer of labor,
yes,
I don't think the education system is preparing the young ones for what they will face out there. They're not preparing the young ones for the labor market. I find it very difficult to employ. I have so many people, unemployed people, but to find quality ones, quality people to employ is a problem.
Yeah.
You get to see people, someone will come up with a degree and say I'm a computer engineer, or I studied computer engineering, and you can't operate a computer.
Yeah.
Like,
Even
so,
their lecturers sometimes
yes,
can't
so
operate that.
my no, seriously, yeah, you're right. I mean, I once had a phonetics teacher that had a very strong Igbo accent, and you're teaching me phonetics, and the pronunciation was so wrong, so I had to learn English from BBC or CNN, watching news.
It's funding the problem. It's funding the problem.
It's part of it, but it's not the major problem. I think I have a problem with people just diverting them, focusing on funding. We don't have money, we don't have money. What are you doing with the little you have? What are you doing? That's the problem. We should ask ourselves, what are we doing? I see people come out every day. I employ so many people, and I struggle.
Yeah.
I struggle.
I mean, Sabi Doctor, we've seen several of your colleagues that have killed people, murdered human beings. You know, probably they were not trained well when they were in university.
Yes, absolutely. Our issues are peculiar. First of all, we have not been able to demonstrate capacity in the educational sector.
Yeah.
So, for example, I will use the colleges of medicine in the country. Over the years, they have essentially remained the same. The numbers we had over the last 30 to 40 years remain the same. But what you tend to see is an increase in the volume of people who are going into these colleges. Yes. That presents a unique problem because the facilities are not on ground to actually absorb this
volume of people.
Yes, you now have a case where, sometimes the time needed to spend on a student to actually grill the student, teach the student, thoroughly to ensure that that student comes out well baked. Unfortunately, we now live in an era where there's this mantra of school as calm, and it's eating deep into the psyche.
Yeah,
so sometimes people come out of the system and they don't have the motivation.
And you can't blame them because, I mean, you spend, in case of medicine, 7 or 8 years. Now you are looking for a job. And, I mean, you are worse off, Your Excellency, my question will be, India, for example, has a vision of making India a knowledge superpower. Where is our educational vision? Where do we have a vision in terms of where we're even taking education to this country?
I want to say definitely, but unfortunately, Like we always say, that leadership has a big role to play. And commitment to what the nation's direction should be is often abandoned by many that have found their way to the top there.
So
many are not supposed to be where they are today. In most cases, not only politicians per se. It's not only politicians that are leaders of the, we have civil servants, academic, we have people that are just civil servants.
Yes.
They are not politicians.
Yes. Sure.
But they are not doing the right thing. Because this issue of, I will bring in love of money, I will not say, maybe I don't want to use the word corruption so carelessly here. This over likeness for money is what is affecting everything. They want to, their self-interest first before education, before the things they should put in place for education. I sympathize a lot with our educational sector in the sense that this is a sector that should be accorded the utmost attention, should attract the largest allocation, but it is not like that. And it is, we go to other countries, we see what they do, but we are not.
You want to jump in?
Yes, yes.
Before you jump in, can I relate to?
Yes, ma, you can.
To the quality. You mentioned the quality of what they turn out. They cannot have quality when you don't, even the teachers are not qualified to be in the classrooms.
Okay, let me say something. I have a problem with the word sympathize. If you were the commissioner of education and you're sympathizing with us, then we're doomed.
I didn't say sympathize.
Yes. Like,
no, I didn't use the word sympathize.
No, you did. You did.
That's what?
Okay, I heard, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't hear it. And also, the part where people who are in the right places doing the wrong things, and they're still there, and we know they're doing the wrong things, and they're still sitting there, and we are comfortable sitting down here talking about it, and while they're still there, and we're not doing anything about it.
It's because, like many of you, the citizens as well, that we're going there to beg for them. That we say, don't take them out. The tribalism is something. This one is from my tribe. That one is from my tribe.
No, that's not true.
It's a big
I speak
issue.
for myself as a citizen, not you. No, that's not
It's a
true.
big issue.
No,
I
disagree.
Hello there. My name is Dele Momodu. I'm the founder of Ovation International Magazine, a magazine that gives publicity to rich and famous Africans. One of the best ways we have built a business empire is by strategic partnerships with the best companies in the world. But I've discovered that one of the best ways of building transformational wealth is through real estate. Now, I'm not just talking about you buying land and building houses on it. I'm talking about you actually having your own mini estate. Now, GTEX Homes offers best opportunity to own my own mini estate without any stress whatsoever. I can now travel all over the world and know that I am well protected by GTEX Homes.
Oh wow, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious. We visited London, France, Geneva, and finally we went to Eiffel Tower in Paris, the tallest building in the world.
Really? Tallest building in the world? Jasper, what is the tallest building in the world?
The tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa, completed in 2009.
Thanks, Jasper.
Is that serious?
Oh, Jasper is the virtual assistant in my house.
Your house?
Yes, Gardenia.
Welcome back. This is still Big Talk with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and we're discussing education. And let me start with you, Sabi Doctor. It seems like we are always finding ourselves doing the blame game in this country. One of the unique things I saw you do was to literally start teaching medicine on social media. You have massive following on Instagram. I heard you're big on Twitter as well. How can we be innovative? Everything can't be about money. We can't all fold our hands and keep complaining education is not working. What can we do?
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Doc. I mean, let me share my story. So I finished, the year I finished, I wrote my final exams in medical school. The results came out, I passed. There is this window of waiting where you apply for house job, all right? And to a very large extent, until you get that house job, you are practically useless.
Wow.
So you see doctors, these are doctors now, waiting, young doctors who are just coming out, 1 year, no work experience. They are just sitting at home. Wow. And in fact, before it got to that stage, I remember Unilag, I asked myself that, as a doctor, I cannot, be useless. I can, if they take away the option of a house job, I should still function productively. That's how the whole, social media thing started. I can actually demystify medicine.
Yes.
Medicine, and it's one of the areas, it's one of the areas we have, a serious lack of awareness when it comes to health. Our people are poorly educated about their health. So, that's how the whole thing started. So there is a need, like you pointed out, for people to actually, innovate and bring up solutions to tackle some of these problems at an individual level.
Can I add to what he just said? Okay, I had an experience when I was pregnant with the last baby. I woke up in the morning and the baby wasn't moving. All through the night, the baby didn't move. So I rushed to the hospital. Around 5 a.m., I was crying. I need to know if my baby is alive. I need to know if my baby is alive. So they were like, okay, the person for the scan, he's not here. He's going to come. Just wait. I waited 5 a.m., 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was crying. This time I just went to, this was emergency ward. I walked to the receptionist. I was like, please, just give me a letter. Let me go to
Private or public?
This is even a private. Wow. It's a private. I said, okay, but they all went to the same school. Private or public. So I was like, please, madam. I was crying. She was like, you know what, madam, hey, yeah, let me help you. You see that doctor that you've been seeing that is passing, he can do it, but it's not his job. Let me go and beg him for you. I traveled 2 days later to the UK. I never came back until I had my baby.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we will attend to you, the audience.
I'm energetic.
I have integrity.
I am excellent.
I am innovative.
I'm available to you any day, anytime, providing you excellent customer service.
I deliver your documents to you anywhere in the world, no matter your location.
I have physical presence in 4 continents of the world in order to serve you better.
You don't know me. I'm Africa's largest developer of green and smart homes. Go and research.
For the past 7 years, I've been doing this and more.
I am GTEX. 7th anniversary GTEX. Oh.
Be a part of the 7 people that will get 70% discount on our landed properties as we celebrate our 7th anniversary. To get this offer now, send the code GTEXT70 to our WhatsApp on +234 818 811 999. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid till 30th of October.
The major secret I have learned that has made me successful in business is that it's not how much money you make, but how much it works for you and the generations you keep it for. The only way to achieve this is by investment. Real estate is the only type of investment that has stood the test of time, and we guarantee you massive wealth
from generation to generation. What are you waiting for? Invest in real estate today. Invest with G-Vest today.
GTEX Home is a brand with vision of having the largest green and smart estate with innovation and technology. The vision has given birth to Jasper Gardenia along the coastline of Ibejuleki, Lagos. The first green and smart affordable estate. Now, Jasper Estate is just 10 minutes away from Dangote Refinery and is just opposite the Lekki Golf Course. And guess what? The title is Gizet. Now, you can get a property here because here, my friend, is the future.
GTEX Homes. We don't just sell properties. We help you build your future.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Big Talk with Dr. Stephen Akintayo. So we have questions. So let's start with the first person.
So my question is, how do you actually train the parents or the guardians at home to actually train their kids coming back home to meet them, so they can actually have like a perspective of learning, because everything starts from the perspective. Thank you very much.
Second question.
I want to ask the doctor, can you develop something called MOOC, Massive Open Online Courses, you understand, for medicine, like, you know, to teach people just basic medicine? Then the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency, I remember when you were Deputy Governor, you came under controversy. They were like, you were being too harsh, your policies were something, I could remember it. And that time, the Lagos State government closed my primary school. It's one of the oldest primary schools, built in the 1940s.
Okay.
The gentleman in the front, he says, your school, was it approved? It was closed down. Closed down for what reason? Dilapidated. Was it a public school? Is it a public school? They won't want it to collapse. But why it is not built up today, I can't say. But if there is land, because we look for land is scarce in Lagos, and for them to leave it, and other schools are springing up all over. I remember then, because when I was in the office, I go out with them. I don't sit in the office. I go out to see where we can build, especially those suburbs. Because those schools take advantage of schools not being there. Yeah. So we built many schools.
Okay. Let's take Mary.
Okay. For me, now, I don't think there's any new method of teaching as we speak. I think both of us, new generation, my generation, my father's generation, we are still using the same method of teaching. And that's where the problem is. You get. So in my time, I know how many cockroaches and lizards that I was cutting in school. Today, I don't know what I don't know what to do with that knowledge. You understand? So I was an art student in secondary school, and I knew I wanted to be a presenter.
I don't agree with what you said, that what they have been teaching is still the same thing today. No, I don't agree with that.
Fine. You can disagree. But today, it's the same thing. I'm sure some secondary schools today, my nieces and nephews are still in school, and they are still cutting cockroaches and labeling lizards. Especially,
they are still doing what?
Cutting cockroaches and labeling lizards in the arts department. Some of you are young here, yeah? You agree with me? Fine. We Nigerians, we're quality people. Don't get me wrong. But the system is pulling us down. I have a problem with being one of the most successful people amongst my peers. They might never get the opportunity that I got.
Yes.
Why? Why is that?
Because fingers are not equal.
No. If you go to big, countries where the education system is good.
The opportunities you were exposed to, were they exposed to such opportunities?
You don't get it. You're not getting it.
Yes.
I have friends, brilliant. Some studied medicine. Brilliant, they're supposed to be brilliant doctors. Some are supposed to be brilliant teachers. Some are supposed to be brilliant lawyers. They're hungry.
Yeah, no food.
Today. That's the problem. Who says we're not supposed to have millionaire lawyers or millionaire doctors or millionaire accountants? They're all hungry.
good news, Sabi Doctor is doing that on Twitter and Instagram. He's making money on Instagram than he probably is being paid as a doctor. But let's have your closing comment because time is
Okay,
not
just to quickly
okay.
give credence to what Mary has just said. You know, our educational system has not evolved. The curriculum has not evolved to reflect the realities of our modern day. And that's a problem. So, for example, she was talking about cutting cockroaches and lizards. Personally, if I was the Minister of Education, I would have that removed from the curriculum.
You can
I will emphasize more. So, for example, I will emphasize more on reproductive biology. So, the question asked, he was talking about mock, massive open online. Yes. So, it's very important, and it's something that I'm actually working on currently because the system we find ourselves in, there are two ways you can go about healthcare. There is a preventive medicine and there is curative medicine.
Yes.
Given the dilapidated structure of our healthcare system, curative medicine cannot work. If you have a life-threatening emergency today in Nigeria, you are most likely going to die.
Yes.
All right? The factors are just too massive. So we need to shift gears and focus more on preventive medicine.
Thank you. One of the, you know, I mean, tough times don't last, tough people do. And I believe that we are in an age where we need to think in a unique way. My field is helping people to build wealth. And I had to start something called Akintayo University recently, where people can learn how to invest, how to concept around building their personal wealth. And today we have taught hundreds of thousands of people all over the world just using technology. I think we can't all fold our hands and watch things go down. Some of us who are in the educational sector can start online university, online courses that can begin to turn things around. Remember, and this is very, very important, you were born for such a time as this. And as young people, the whole concept of being an entrepreneur is actually providing solution to the current challenges that you have seen, and you end up making more money. I hope somebody here takes up, you know, the challenge of beginning to solve the educational sector from the private sector. And one day, we'll have a better day. Love you and thank you for coming.